kinda nervous. Go ahead and talk to her.
Commander? Freya, she told us about Matari's plan to give you an honorary rank. You wouldn't be here if you hadn't accepted. The good news is that we can forego training and normal induction procedure. The bad is that I have no idea how well you'll work with my ladies. We've been at this a long time, Commander, doing routine missions here and there to make ends meet. Bonds have formed, and every mission is expertly choreographed by me. You're strong, no argument there. But you're being introduced into our Legion during what will be our greatest string of operations this organization has ever conducted. The enemy we've trained to defeat all our lives is here. Can I trust you on the battlefield and with my women? Then prove yourself to them. I'm giving you a small, easy assignment. Enough time to earn the respect of some of the warriors before we begin our combat operations.
Whoops. I thought you were done.
Ms. Pinder, do you have something to say?
Well, I guess they didn't tell you about me joining as a new recruit.
No, they didn't. Commander, may I speak to you over there? This wasn't your decision, was it, Commander? A potential siren is recruited after months of observation and testing. We must be sure that they will accept when we reveal to them the existence of our order. We know of Ms. Pinder's history through Marcus. As she is now, she would not qualify to be a siren. She lacks any form of combat experience and has a timid personality. Admirable for a woman, but not a warrior. We will have to push her mental and physical limits. She will break, but if she is committed, she can rebuild herself to be a siren. Maybe, but training will determine her inner strength. I just wanted to let you know out of courtesy. Time will be an issue, and our instructors will be limited as we focus our resources towards purity. If basic training is all she gets during our tight schedule, then so be it. May the bonds between her and the Sirens form through battle. I'll discuss training with Kasha personally. Back to the topic of your assignment. I'm sending you out with a team to gather scout reports from our agents stationed in Dawnstar and Winterhold. We know there will be trouble. A group of Sirens will be attractive prey for Purity and the heroes. What they don't expect is for you to be there with them. You've given them quite the scare in Jonestead. Inspire a little more fear and the roads are ours. They'll be hesitant to waste warriors on pointless patrols afterwards. Lilith will be the team leader. She's right over there in the smithing area. This mission will be your one chance at learning our ways. Next mission, you'll be given command and a complimentary katana to call your own. Now go, and fight well, Commander. Dismissed.
Welcome aboard, Commander. Yes. Trisha told me beforehand that you would be assigned to my team. It's quite an honor. I've already briefed the others about the mission. As Trisha said, we need to gather valuable intel reports regarding the heroes' movements to and from Fort Azarath. Information like that can damage a defense strategy. They will not give it up easily. You're learning quickly. When Purity and the heroes learn that you've made an alliance with the Sirens, they'll think twice before sending warriors to the field. A hesitant enemy is exactly what we need this early in the war. Good. Our plan is to head to Winterhold, and then Dawnstar by carriage. There are several checkpoints along the way where our sisters are waiting to track our progress. If we fail to arrive at a checkpoint within a given time, they will begin patrols to ensure all is well. When you're ready, meet us in front of the catacombs entrance.
You're leaving? Yep, it's as intensive as I could have imagined. Training in combat, seduction, leadership. It's going to take one big speed run through something that normally takes months. Trisha says that I'll have to stay down here until plans are finalized for the Fort Pazarath battle. Looks like you'll have to do away with my maid services for a while. Sorry. Can you? Your houses are a lot cleaner ever since I came along. I'll be fine. Remember, this is the safest place for me to be in all of Skyrim. Go on and do what you have to do without me getting in the way. Right. Good luck and take care of yourself.
My, Commander, you're making friends quite easily. Don't get too carried away now, or some of them will get jealous. Can't a lonely gal like me say goodbye to her lover before he embarks on his journey? Don't act so surprised. Of course we are. You and me, the perfect team. Too bad you're stuck with Lilith today, but maybe someday soon, you and I will have so much fun. Just you wait. Now come back safe. I'll be waiting.
Commander, this is my team. Our team. On the ledge is Moline, a recent addition to our league, and an adaptable warrior in any environment. Over here is Samantha. We joined Serenity Sirens at the same time. She specializes in enemy tactics and history.
Wait, that's it? Come on, Lilith, introduce yourself.
The commander knows who I am.
No, you know what I mean. Don't be so modest. Promote your skills. Give the commander something to look forward to.
Samantha!
He can judge for himself when we're in combat.
Jeez, Lilith is a mean dual-wielding maniac.
Damn it, Samantha! Show some respect! Lilith is in charge of this mission. Are you planning on treating the commander the same way?
I didn't mean to.
We can continue this conversation on the carriage. Talia is waiting. I should give you a heads up. There are 4 checkpoints. We'll be stopping at 2 on the way to Winterhold, and the other 2 on the way back from Dawnstar. There are sirens posted at each one. If you have to take care of personal business on the trip, the rest of the team will be waiting at the last visited checkpoint. The agents with the scout reports will be waiting at the local taverns. I'll need to be present so I can recite the code word and get the papers. If they're smart, They'll strike after checkpoint 4. Getting back up from the palace isn't as easy with visitors coming and going. They know that. We're ready when you are. Hop on the carriage and we'll be on our way.
Great to see all of you so excited to head out. Just say the word and we're off. Are you ready now? It'll be a bumpy ride. Hold on!
What is she doing? Oh, forgive me. I was distracted. Maybe not, but I really need to keep focus. I'm on watch after all.
We have a problem. Aradarum is telling me that the Siren Mage we saw by the pool needs to get to the palace. Protocol states that we can't substitute one mission for another, and...
Enough protocols. I need Alaray out of here now. She's mentally unfit and a burden to me and Emmy. If she ends up getting killed, her blood is on your hands. We've done all we could.
We're expecting an encounter with Purity and the heroes on our route. Alaray would be much safer here than with us.
You would be safer if we got rid of the annoyance. Once she's out of here, I can return to guarding this checkpoint without having to look over at Alaray every minute. You're too predictable, Lilith. Always abiding by the rules. Let me talk some sense into you through this commander. A male joining the Sirens? Are we really that desperate for help? Like I said, take the Dunmer girl away so we can get back to guarding this post. She's mourning over the Pazarath massacre. We all do so in our own ways, but she's letting it interfere with her duties as a siren. All she does is mutter to herself by the pool and ignore all of my orders. At last, someone who sees reason. Lilith has a lot to learn from you. Now get Alaray out of my sight. Let the Battlemaster know that I'd like to have a word with her about this mess when I get back. And can you tell Lilith something for me? Tell her that Misha is at the next checkpoint. That should rattle her. Ha ha ha!
Did you convince Aradarum to keep Alaray here? I hope you understood the risks involved in our mission when you agreed. We can't take Alaray back right now, and she can't wander back to the palace alone on foot. But what's done is done. I hope she'll stay down, if and when we're ambushed. Misha, now I understand why I haven't seen her for a while at the palace. Aradarum and Misha are two of Freya's pupils. Anyone trained by Freya tends to look at me in disgust. I'd rather not get into it. The memories are painful. Go and get Alaray. Tell Talia when we're ready to leave.
Is this it? Am I finally going home to Morrowind? So it isn't home. Maybe someday. I had so many friends. The only friends I had were at the fort. Now they're all dead. I heard she was at Pazarath, but I never met her. Undercover to avoid favoritism. Mother, I want to go home.
Are we done here? Checkpoint 2 awaits. It'll get colder from here on out. Huddle up, ladies. No matter how many times I hammer this board, it still squeaks. Ugh. Anyway, need something? Before this whole mess started, some Ashen Sirens wore masks when running around Skyrim. Nothing too eye-catching. We never ran into any problems. Every now and then you'd get a guard asking you to take off your mask. But once they saw that you were an Ashen, they'd let you be. You know, now that I think about it, Marcus was really the only one who pushed the mask rule to disguise ourselves from Purity spies. The other higher-ups couldn't care less if you wore a mask or not. Who cares now anyway? Purity can spot an Ashen with or without a mask. Just ask the poor souls at Fort Pazarath. That wasn't too long ago, you know. The last mission I had before this one was to deliver some supplies to Fort Pazarath. And the one before that, I had to take a couple of Sirens into Solitude for those supplies. It's been boring for a very long time. Sometimes you do have to carry some girls into risky missions during the cover of the night. But none of that will compare to what we'll all be doing in the next few days. Yep. The luck of the draw that I'm the one that usually drives them around on their missions. Lilith, Samantha, and I go way back. Malene is a new face, but I like her already. A perfect balance between Lilith's silence and Samantha's boldness. As for you, you're one of the few people who actually talks to me during the mission. That's flattering. There's a couple. Just scouts like me that work the carriages when they have to. There used to be a few more, but, well, we lost them after Pazarath. Bye-bye.
I'm fine. I just need to be alone.
Commander, it's Lilith. I don't think she went up the hill to check in with Misha. Don't worry, she's fine. But I think she sat under a tree. She's too afraid to face Misha after the incident. Yes, I don't think Lilith would want me to talk about it. It's something we've kept to ourselves for a very long time. The only others who know are the ones that were involved. Lilith never loses her calm, but when it comes to dealing with Freya and her students, who knows how she will react. Commander, can you go check on her? We need to leave as soon as we can, for Lilith's sake.
Lilith is taking quite a while. Any problems?
I couldn't do it. Gods, I couldn't. I'm such a coward. I tried, but I couldn't bring myself to get halfway. Misha would kill me this time. Even now that she's blind, she would still kill me. All I need to say is, we're safe. No problems yet. But I can't even say that. Not after what I've done. Commander, please, do me a favor. Let Misha know that we're proceeding into Winterhold. That is all you need to say. Try not to talk about me, or ask questions. It would get ugly.
Loud, not silent like purity. Who approaches? I ask who approaches. Scout reports. You're the honorary commander that I was told about. You already reek of Lilith's scent. Stay for a while. We are in the middle of something interesting. I know that you defeated the heroes in Jonestead, but a siren has yet to taste that victory. For all the women lost in Fort Pazarath, for all the pain inflicted by this man's brothers on my sisters, he must be punished. I want to make him my brother in darkness. His right eye is already broken. Only his left is left. Enjoy the last moments of your sight, Mongrel. Soon all you will have left to enjoy in this life will be the music of my sirens. Only the music can drown out the screams. Commander, please, gouge the eye out of this monster. I need rest. Sirens! The melodies! Louder!
Did something happen? What? Okay. Let's hurry and get out of here. Ready to go? Good. Talia went on ahead. She'll meet us at the Frozen Hearth. Our agent will be there as well.
See those warriors from Hammerhead? They've got current swords. Current swords.
Paso silum mara.
There is no need for that. This one knows who you are, Lilith. The papers. Here. Interesting activity.
Thanks. We got the papers. Just a quick look through them and it gives us a better idea on what's going on over at Pazarath.
No, even Ranmir can only...
Not yet. There's something I want to show you. Come. It isn't too far.
I suppose that's a benefit to having so few customers.
Open the safe and take out the bottle. There it is. The thing that started this war. Project Purity called it Aerosap. One drop is all it takes to increase the sex drive of a female victim to extreme levels. It has no effect on males, just as purity intended. Once the victim is under the influence, the effects are permanent until they are past the age of childbearing. The psychological effects stay for a lifetime. All the sirens know the story of the Pinder twins that were poisoned by this. 200 years ago, the world was so close to destruction, and they didn't even know it. Not because of the Oblivion Crisis, but because of this. If Purity's plans hadn't been foiled, we'd all be under their reign. They would have distributed it to the wealthiest clients first. They would have controlled our populations. All it took was one person to stop that from happening. Serenity, the being that our order is named after. Her sacrifice to destroy the source of Arasap set Purity back years. Enough time for the Pinder family to grow and expand, to fight, and to die. Each generation has sacrificed everything to stop Purity. God's willing. Kasha will not be among them. That's the last bottle of Arasap. It's not mine. It's Freya's. There. No. Freya doesn't need it. You've seen her. Probably talked to her. She kept it as a trophy. I don't know how she got her hands on it in the first place, but it's definitely the last. There were 23 bottles accounted for in recovered Purity manifests. All but one was destroyed. She showed it off whenever we came up here for training. It gave us a motivation to persevere. There's no need for that now. We have all the motivation we need after everything that's happened. I wanted to ask you something, but it should wait. Talia must be getting worried sick. Ah, I forgot. Alare told me she was going to visit the college. Can you go get her? The rest of us will be waiting back at the carriage.
Commander, do we have to leave? I've always wanted to see the college since I was a little girl. This is where I belong. I made a mistake joining the Sirens. I thought I would be able to handle the killing, but I was wrong. So wrong. No one has ever left Serenity's Sirens. I don't want to be the first. They would think I'm a coward. You would do that? Thank you! It's so refreshing to see such kind hearts. Oh, we should hurry then.
We're ready to leave.
One city down, one more to go. Ready? You don't need to tell me twice.
Got the reports, but we might have trouble. There was an odd man in leather armor at the inn. He was obviously interested in me and the agent. Go ahead. Best if I stay here since he already saw me. Be careful.
We're doing just fine.
Nothing to report.
For crying out loud, what is it now? Wait. It's you! Holy Night Mother, it's really you! The listener! Apologies, listener. It's just when I heard of the business at the sanctuary, I feared the worst for the Brotherhood.
Maybe you should take a day off and head into town. I could watch the end while you're away.
Must have been before you joined.
Why would I do
Yep.
that?
I'm former Brotherhood.
It'll do you good. Maybe you could visit Ergnir or Fruki.
I didn't either. But, to be fair, I was cast out.
Why would they be looking at me?
Me and my buddies were all blamed for botching those strings of missions a while back. Don't know if you've ever heard of them Ashen women with a tendency to stick their fingers into our business. Every single damn mission. They showed up, stole our kill, gold, whatever. And we were all freshly inducted into the Brotherhood. Poor sobs who barely killed a couple of mercs before we started going after the big contracts. All of us were kicked out for such pathetic attempts at fulfilling our duties. They didn't believe a word we said. Can you believe it? The hottest women this side of Tamriel beat us to the punch. Oh, don't go telling that story around the taverns. Sure do. Ever seen an Ashen without a katana and a dagger down her boots? Didn't think so. Why do you ask? Been looking at her too? Yeah, that's how we do it. Infiltrate their ranks and bring them down from within. Whatever you say, but if you change your mind, you know where to find me. Just as for Dimitri, I can get my entire crew ready within days. Remember, friends, when the entire world seems to have turned against you, you are not alone. Hey, barkeeper, another drink. I'm dying of thirst over here.
The Wind Peak Inn features...
Did you figure out why he was so curious? Okay, that's what I thought. Assuming he's not lying, I doubt he has any affiliations with the Heroes or Purity. We should get going. The way back will be a lot more eventful, with a possible ambush. Remember to stay alert.
Let's hit the road. Keep your eyes peeled for shady characters. Did I ever tell you that you're my favorite siren? Shh, shh. Don't tell anyone. No, really? That reminds me.
Commander? Yes. I take it you're going to ask about Misha. It was years ago, when I was still in training. My performance caught the attention of Freya. She offered to become my personal instructor. I'd heard rumors of her rigorous training exercises from my sisters. None were detailed enough to give me an idea of what to expect. I accepted. It wasn't long before I met her other students. Aradarum, Elda, Misha. There were others. Many perished at Pasarath, but these three were the ones that I grew closest to. Our lessons were very basic to begin with, but they evolved to become more complex and demanding. When we were finally given missions, Freya's true colors were shown. She tortured our targets, made them suffer needlessly to get information we could have easily gotten without violence. It wasn't long before she ordered us to do the same. I refused. In return, I was mocked by the same students that I had learned to call sisters. I was called weak and pathetic, unworthy. All except Misha. She was the one person who stayed silent, and the only one who provided comfort. I chose to stay, even as the insults and punishment for disobeying orders grew more severe. One day, Freya took us to Winterhold for what was supposed to be a routine training exercise. Disgusting acts upon one another. That's all you have to know. More determined than ever, I stood my ground. Freya's tolerance finally broke. She grabbed me by the neck and threw me to the ground. A barrage of punches and kicks followed. All she could do was laugh hysterically. I almost lost consciousness. When it was finally over, I got up to face Freya. She grinned. Before I could decide whether I was willing to sacrifice my life to kill this woman, I heard a whisper behind me. Lilith, you're a disgrace. I should have known. Misha had eventually reduced her contact with me until it became non-existent. That sentence confirmed everything. She was no longer a friend. She had become another casualty of Freya's teachings. So I turned around and set out to end her life. I got on top of her and gouged out her eyes. The screams. Freya started laughing. I stopped and realized what I was doing. I was in shock. Freya congratulated me for finally fulfilling the very first order she had given all of us: torture another being. Misha's screams had alerted the guards. We had no choice but to abandon her. It was several weeks before she showed up at the palace. She had escaped from jail and made her trek by foot, blind, bloody, and naked. Freya was elated to see her student again. All I could feel was shame. I left Freya's group and returned to resume my original training. I haven't spoken to Misha since. Maybe, but I'll deal with it when the time comes. I could have left Serenity Sirens after the incident, but I didn't, even though I disagreed with everything Freya put me through. I chose to stay. It would have been selfish of me otherwise. Our order was born out of a man's hope to save his family, and to destroy the evil that was infecting the world. How could I abandon a cause like that? I showed you at Winterhold why we choose to fight. Our methods might not be the same, but we are all sisters, fighting for something we can believe in. But you, what are you fighting for? The Dragonborn, the Slayer of Alduin, and the Savior of Nirn. Your destiny has been fulfilled. So why do you continue to fight? Indeed. After everything you've been through, I imagine you wouldn't want your sacrifices to be in vain. And when there is nothing left to fight, what do you plan on doing with the rest of your life? You have no reason to worry. Your future will come to you. I don't know. Marcus promised us that we would all be free when purity was removed from the world. That all sirens would be welcome to live in Jonestead, where we could live out the rest of our lives in peace. But he's dead. Matari has never spoken to us of the future, and none of us have really cared. She's like a mother to some of us. Her presence gives some of us hope that everything will be all right, no matter the outcome. Disbanding Serenity Sirens after the war was Marcus's plan. With Matari, I think she wants to keep the order intact so we can all be together. Did I? Sorry, I misspoke. The truth is, I'm just as curious about our fate as you are. Understood. You should get some rest before we make our way to Checkpoint 4. Paso silu maru. Peace be with you, brother.
Make sure to check your weapons. If there is an ambush, we'll all need to be ready. Strange that you're asking me, but I understand. I'm not as forward with my emotions as some of the others. Seduction training is actually very easy to get through, but if you're trying to go for some of the more elegant missions, you'll need to be really good with your words and body. In the end, everyone passes seduction training. There will always be someone out there that will like your personality, no matter how aggressive or timid you may be. Shoot! I wasn't as lucky as the Tamriel-born Ashen, that have a sliver of opportunity to live a tolerable life. I was a slave in a Sayasi prison camp off the coast of Akavir. I was born there, and I was sure I would die there if I hadn't escaped to the mainland. It's a long story how I ended up in Skyrim, but when I did, it wasn't too long before the Sirens took notice of me. Same reason why most of the other Ashen join. We have no home. Whether we are slaves in Akavir or nomads wandering Tamriel, there is no place for us in this world except with the Sirens. They welcome us with open arms, and promise us freedom in exchange for our service. I am happy here. The life of a warrior is what many of us were born to do. It is the only thing we can do. Ashen are a special case. Those of us that are not Sirens often hear stories of a great female Ashen army that will rid the evils of the world. It's something that's passed around among the young girls in Tamriel, hoping for a better life. Every single time a Siren recruiter has approached a young girl, there is no disagreement or no reservation. The girl always joins. It's why so many of us are Ashen. Why waste your time with a non-Ashen who may not join the cause at the end of the observation period? You waste your time, the girl's time, and risk revealing the existence of Serenity's Sirens. Are you asking this because of the group at Checkpoint 1? Keen eye. Honestly, there is a hint of discord between us, but it's natural. Ashen are an overwhelming majority, and the minority is bound to be jealous of our prominence. Thankfully, nothing has ever come of it. But the Battle Master has made the effort to segregate us into appropriate groups. There are strategic benefits to doing so, after all. Stick an Ashen in every single group, and the non-Ashen will feel that they need to compete with a sister. Yep. Say what you will about her peculiar appearance, but I think she's an Ashen shaman. I thought they only existed in fairy tales, but now I'm starting to think otherwise. It might be why so many of the Ashen sirens feel naturally connected to her, despite her rare appearances outside of her chambers. I know that's my reason. They unintentionally paved the way for the Ashen to find a place to call home, while fighting for a good cause.
Think we can make it back to the palace in one day? I'm getting kind of antsy about the ambush. I've studied everything there is about purity. What do you want to know? Purity assassins prefer to use their arcane abilities over weapons, but they still train to become master swordsmen. History has shown that they are also innovators in combat. Records put together by the Siren's predecessor, the Cleansers, have described their unusual weapons on the battlefield. It was only recently that we discovered that they have been studying Dwemer relics, particularly Centurions. If that's where they're getting their ideas, then we'll have to be very careful. Just by looking at the signs, Marcus and his family thought that Purity was defeated 90 years ago. Then in 156, there was an incident that signaled their return. Purity has a habit of doing that. So, Marcus was wise in believing that they wouldn't just get up and disband after another 50 years. And our Siren Scouts haven't been put to work for nothing. They've gathered shipping logs, tracked convoys that vanished inside empty caves, witnessed disappearing acts out in the middle of nowhere. Not too hard to prove that they existed up to the attacks on Pazaroth and Jonestead. If you know what you're looking for, you can spot the clues. Don't know. Nobody alive can report on how they worked together at Pazaroth, besides telling you that they were effective. Bosca's heroes are exclusively warriors, while Purity specializes in magic. Together, they form a deadly combination. Each assassin prefers working alone. Major battles between the Pinder family and Purity showed an exploitable weakness in their defenses when they fight in groups. They are typically in disarray and have little coordination. Gotcha. Oh, I guess Lilith told you, huh? As far as Marcus knew, Freya was just another instructor. The two never conversed. Matari knows Freya. I don't think she really disapproves. She might even be encouraging it. But that's our mistress. She knows best. Wow. You know what? It's as if nothing changed when Marcus died. Matari was basically our leader ever since his kid was born. Maybe even before that. I guess the oldest Sirens will feel sad about losing our founder, but Matari is still alive. There's something about this fact that tells me everything's going to be okay. The reason the Sirens exist is to protect them, but it doesn't have to be the only reason. We know that Project Purity is dangerous, so we will defeat them, with or without the Pinter family.
What's wrong with Miss Lilith? What's wrong with Miss Lilith?
The carriage is prepped and ready to go.
We're ready to leave.
Ready to leave?
I sense something. I don't know what it is, but I feel calm.
Ugh, my head. What happened? The ride back is going to be terrible for me. Let's go, alright.
A trap.
But why here, when checkpoint 4 is just up ahead? Unless...
Come, but keep your weapon drawn. Let him make no sudden movements.
Oh, kind young lass, have mercy on a pitiful man.
Keep your hands where we can see them.
But what reason would I have to harm such noble souls?
Are you really expecting us to fall for your charade, Purity?
No, I expect you to fall for this.
We need to return to the carriage to make sure everyone is safe. Report.
I knocked this guy outright when he was about to kill Talia. Nice invisibility spell. Too bad your robes give off a glint. 200 years and you still haven't learned.
Thanks, Sammy. I owe you one.
Don't mention it.
Good work, all of you. Alare, are you fine?
Fine.
It seems we have this man in our hands now. Good thing we left the hero behind at checkpoint 2. A Purity prisoner is far more valuable.
You've gained nothing. In fact, I believe you've lost more today than you know. How fare the sirens that you visited one by one on your way here? Do you realize our lack of concern of reinforcements coming to your aid is more than just confidence?
Did your mother never teach you when to shut up?
Stop. We'll find out ourselves if what he says is true. We'll be passing by checkpoint 4 on the way back to the palace. We can confirm whether this man's reports are true, judging by what we find. Either way, we need to leave immediately and alert Trisha. The rest of you mount up. I'll follow you on foot.
Euphoria Palace. You hide behind the walls that we built. Yet you can't even make the connection. We are the only reason you exist.
We exist to fight you.
Is that so? Amusing that you remain so ignorant of your purpose.
What do you mean?
Well, that would be telling. And as your superior should know, truth kills. All of you, hear me. Do not allow yourself to be led to slaughter fighting for a lie. What has she promised you? Liberty? Salvation? Resist temptation. Denounce your creed.
Is this a joke?
Let him speak.
We know the only means to victory. But do any of you have what it takes? I see a woman, blinded by her past, who can no longer see the future. Warriors who know only the ways of the sword. A pitiful mage. A drunk.
Hey!
And you, a so-called hero, adoringly praised by his followers. And vehemently cursed by those who aren't so easily swayed by childish portrayals of an infallible being. Like all who came before, you equate victory with survival and peace, defeating one threat to this world after another. Do you not think there are consequences? You are not delaying anything. You are only making it stronger. I ask you again. Do any of you have what it takes to purify the world so it can be made whole again? The road to your salvation is not through survival, but destruction. Only then will all be right in the world.
Easy there, Prophet, or you might go hoarse.
Jest if it makes you feel better. None of you will be laughing when the land quakes beneath you, and there will be nothing to do but fall. Bitter about what I said? Good. Not many can face the facts when they come from their supposed enemy. One of them came to you. A holy matron. Did an nymphomaniac gather the strength to speak in between her bouts of idiocy? You're no fool. You can see as well as I do that the Sirens are more than they claim to be. At least when it comes to their leader. Her children are just twisted to follow her word. Do you really want to know? I believe the Observer would have discussed this with you already. If you want to play this little game of pretend, then so be it. You will fail because you don't have the key to stopping Matari. We do. Death. To truly cleanse this world, you will need to restart from the beginning. The dragons were set to do that, but you defeated them. Unfortunate that you traded them for our solution. There would have been less suffering otherwise. Eurosep wasn't our decision. Like the good puppets we were, we followed orders. Promises of utopia are all you need to bring even the greatest people to fall. Serenity's Sirens and Project Purity share the same mother. Deceit. A cruel mother that you'll have the misfortune of meeting very soon. If you haven't already. But you already know the death of every living being. You can't do it, can you? The more I say, the more of you that will be lost to her. But chin up, lad. We can always rebuild. Time for me to go and face the Siren's music. Do you hear it? It's beautiful. She finally figured out how to move a statue. How appropriate that I'll die beneath the Argonian that followed our old mantra to the very end. One last insult, is it? Damn you, Mother. Damn you.
Here, take that defeat.
Freya!
Easy there, Saber Kitten. Haven't you heard? We don't take prisoners. Especially those from Purity.
We needed him alive!
Oh no. What are you going to do?
Forget it. We need to speak with Trisha immediately.
Oh, about the attacks. Go on ahead. I need to clean up the mess this guy made. How typical.
It's bad. So please tell me you have some good news.
The reports. They're regrouping to defend Pazarath.
They never planned to continue roadside attacks, with or without the commander in our ranks. They're taunting us.
How are the other teams doing? The ones dispatched right after us.
Fine, as far as we know. Nothing as bad as what I heard your team faced. Any news on Checkpoint 4?
Completely demolished. Their bodies were already ash when we passed by.
So that's it then. All we have left in the east is Checkpoint 2. The ambush. Can you describe their armament?
12 standard heroes of Nirn. 1 Purity assassin. He used shock explosives.
The shock explosives are classic Purity. Too classic. They're keeping their latest advancements a secret until they need them the most.
Yeah, let's cut to the chase. Is Misha alive?
Everyone at Checkpoint 2 is safe, including Misha.
Ha, that's my girl. I bet she had to do all the work.
Anyway, I heard you brought a prisoner.
About that.
Oh, forgive me, ma'am. I didn't mean to intrude. Everyone, thank you for your service. We lost many women today, but do not lose hope. Every step we take, every piece of knowledge we gain, brings us closer to launching our operation to retake Pazarath. Commander, as ordered by Mistress Matari, here is your payment. 10,000 for completing the mission. 7,500 for the Purity prisoner, despite his demise. 2,500 for securing the Dark Elf Girl. And as promised, your katana can be picked up from our weaponsmith. All of you dismissed. I'll have your next assignments available very soon. Commander, may I speak to you when you have the chance?